Welcome to the Basketball Addicts podcast. Today we got a good one. We are talking about game 4 of the NBA Finals. Yes, we were all surprised. The Greek Freak and the Milwaukee Bucks have taken the 2-2 lead. Not the 2-2 lead, but tied it up 2-2. And we're going to be breaking this down as the Basketball Addicts. So I'm going to kick it off here to Chris, and let's hear what he has to say first.
First things first. Hangs head and shame.
Tell me why, Chris. Tell me why.
Because I'm human. I'm not against, admitting when I'm wrong.
Ooh, okay. We love that.
And sadly, I'm still on the Phoenix Suns train, but we were punching Budenholzer in the face, like punch after punch. He wasn't weaving them. He was taking them all to the chin. Then he caught us with a left, and we got dizzy.
That's a nice little. That was nice.
He caught us with a left, and we was like, "Oh, we got dizzy." We rocked a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't watched that game, exactly what we have been saying, the media has been saying, it has finally been done.
Uh-oh.
Just a little bit. There were portions, there were times where Chris Middleton didn't start that. I mean, not Chris Middleton. Brook Lopez didn't start that game at center. Giannis did.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, was that an entertaining, exciting game to watch?
Yes. Great game.
I just want to say I'm sorry. Coach Budenholzer, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too.
But back into what we were originally talking about. That's just a little bit intro. So just a couple things. Positives, you have Giannis was finally playing center. That was now you saw the difference in how the game was being played, how they had to change their strategy. You saw the difference. If you go back to, I think it was the second quarter when Brook Lopez came in, Brook Lopez was being scored on immediately. But when Giannis was down there, it was like kind of a back and forth thing. Like the Phoenix Suns did lead throughout the game until just about the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter, because Chris Middleton lost his fucking mind. But that's besides the point. It's just been, how do I put this? It was just it was really a good game though. Like I really enjoy watching that game for sure. That was definitely a game for sports fans, for basketball fans, because
competitive.
It was competitive all the way through. You didn't really know what was going to happen. You didn't.
Yes.
And Giannis, of course. How do I put this? Chris Middleton is okay. So I saw this post. I'm gonna do it this way. I saw this post.
Okay.
That said that is Chris Middleton a top 10 player in the league today?
Wait, what?
Give me a second, Jay. I saw this post, and I want to say that he is top 10 most inconsistent player in the league today. He's not a top 10. Because he has his games, and sadly, he had the Phoenix Suns number tonight. He falls asleep for the first two games. He takes those two lefts and a right, and then he just uppercuts the hell out you.
Yes.
And then when you think you got him on the ropes, he just punches you hard. And he dropped 40 something points, and he scored the last 8 points, and just shit. He was on fucking fire the entire game.
Exactly. You're totally right. So my takeaways from this game is definitely it was a special game from Devin Booker and Chris Middleton. Devin Booker was putting on a mid-range clinic. If anybody thinks, the mid-range game is dead, I sorry to tell you, the mid-range is never going to be dead, because it's always going to be the answer to, you're not going to let me get to the bucket, I'm going to be able to shoot a mid-range, right? Okay, let's hear it.
I was about to say, Kawhi Leonard is this as well, and he's a mid-range king. So I hope you don't think the mid-range is gone. Go ahead.
LeBron James, underrated mid-range game.
Very true.
Yes. Yeah. AD's got a good one too. But Devin Booker's a bucket, man. He was having a phenomenal performance last night. 42 points, absolutely insane. The Milwaukee Bucks, Chris Middleton, yeah, you're definitely right. It's he does have moments like last night where he is having a great game. It was the right time though. Game 4, you're down 0-2, obviously you're down 3-1, and you get to equal out Devin Booker's 40-point night, which probably would have pushed them to the win without Chris Middleton losing his mind. So this is actually really, really good timing for them. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I really think that Chris Middleton is maybe a little bit better than people think, but I completely agree with you that he's inconsistent because he should be a consistent 20 to 25 a night, right?
If that, yeah.
So I think that because he'll slip into the teens or below 10, which is why you're completely right. But it's just that night he was cooking. He really was. It was a clinic. It was great to see. Something you didn't expect going into the game. And I completely agree with you. Mike Budenholzer, I'm sorry. I was wrong. You made a little bit of adjustment, right? You're down 2-1. You're about to go down 3-1. Fourth quarter, you're down by a few points at the start of the fourth. Brook Lopez did not touch the floor the whole fourth quarter. And they might have found something with Bobby Portis. They put Bobby Portis in a center-ish to kind of take away from Giannis's minutes throughout that fourth quarter. And it seemed to work really well. So that might be something that's going to be translatable for the rest of the series because I think they still want to have some sort of size in there. So he could be the long-term answer. And he did get it was only 1 minute. He got 20 minutes. Brook Lopez got 19, but there was a big minute difference. But what this is about for me is the pick and roll, Chris. Exactly what you started with. You know who's getting crucified today? Who's getting crucified today, Chris?
And Chris Paul.
Yes. Why is Chris Paul getting crucified? Because he had 10 points and 7 assists, right?
Didn't show up.
Everybody's right. Everybody's like, he didn't shoot well. His points are down. Oh, this is just like what he used to do, right? He always disappears in the playoffs. It's because of the pick and roll was stifled, right? Then DeAndre Ayton didn't have a good game either. DeAndre Ayton only had 6 points. I mean, you got 15, 7, and 10 between Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson. That's pretty average for them. So it's not like they played terribly. So what it is the Bucks figured out the pick and roll, right? So that's a scary thing for the Suns going forward. I've never thought that Chris Paul has been a creator off the dribble, especially in his older years. I always thought that it was the pick and roll that created his shots in the Suns. So if you take away the pick and roll, his numbers are not going to be extremely impressive. So this is the way you beat them. And then now they're finally starting to take hints here. And now they have the flow of the series. And the deciding factor for me going forward is the Suns have 2 games at home, right? Always role players step up more at home. Is Chris Middleton or Jrue Holiday either have one big game left in them, right? Because we all know Giannis is going to lose his mind every game. He's scoring for anywhere from 25 to 42, and he's going to have anywhere from 6 to 12 assists and 16 rebounds to 10 rebounds. Like, he's ridiculous. We all know he's ridiculous. But do Jrue Holiday or Chris Middleton either have one big game left in them? That's the question. And with the role player situation, due to that, the Bucks played really great defense. I worry if they're going to be able to bring the same energy at home and get the same calls at home, right? Because they let them play. Yeah, I'm worried about that because your gut instinct, I think, is right. So the ability for them to get the calls and be able to play the physical style of defense is going to be really interesting going forward. But the fact that the Bucks were able to beat the Suns with Devin Booker scoring 42 gives me a lot of hope. So as long as they can kind of get the consistency they got from Bobby Portis, I think, in my opinion, they might have a recipe going forward. I'm a little worried about Cameron Artis-Payne because I feel like he has a 20-point game left in him. That's just my gut instinct. You know, two games at home. I think one of these games is gonna put up a pretty big night. So they got 2 home games to figure it out. Chris, what's your take after me saying that?
Okay, so listening to you say, I completely agree. And with that, the fact that Chris Paul isn't really showing up like he has been these past couple final series, it turns into an old Phoenix Suns team. Just with like, you know what I mean? Like how Devin Booker carries the scoring load just like he does every night.
Yes.
And now it's
Yes.
just like he has a bunch of role players around him pretty much. Like the people
Mhm.
who not like, he needs somebody to come along with him. And Chris Paul was that
Yes.
guy. So we need Chris Paul to step up again. You got to figure it out. You know what I mean? You have a great basketball mind, figure it out. Figure out
Mhm.
how to do it. Monty Williams, you know, get in there with Chris Paul. Y'all figure it out. And y'all still
Mhm.
got, I still believe in you. I do. But I do want to apologize to Boonhoser because we were definitely like all on his head these past couple games. Like Brooke Lopez,
Yeah.
why is he down there?
Glad
Brooke
he-
Lopez,
Mhm.
why is he down there?
Yes.
Put Giannis in.
Mhm.
And he finally listened to the media. He finally listened. I mean, I don't know if he listened to us, but I mean, I guess maybe he just finally, maybe somebody must have like took him aside and just like smacked him upside the head. It was like, what are you doing? But
Yeah. I would say the only thing that two things that statistically is odd, this 17-5 turnover ratio. It's really hard to win an NBA basketball game when you turn over the ball 17 times. But the only
Chris Paul
thing
had one.
Yeah.
He had a big one in the fourth quarter.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. You're completely right.
Lost him the game.
And but the thing is, the weird one is the Bucks shot 24% from the 3-point line. That's not really, that's terrible. So that's a pretty good sign for going forward if you can shoot that poorly and be close. So the stats have good or bad ways you can view it for both teams and for going forward. So it's gonna be you're gonna have really good 3 games, hopefully. You know.
Yeah.
So do you want to move on to the Kendrick Perkins things, or do you have anything else?
Go ahead, Gus.
Hey guys, real quick. Just kind of going back to what you said about Chris Paul's reputation in the playoffs. So Chris Paul averages 18.3 points per game in the regular season, and in the playoffs he averages 15.6 points per game.
It's not a big drop off, but that's a drop off. You know, from 18 to 15.6. I mean, that can make or break a series. Those just couple points.
I think it's well, he's not a lethal scorer like a James Harden.
Sure.
Like a lot of those elite guys elevate more in the playoffs. So I could see this making sense because teams step it up intensity wise defensively. For a guy who's a playmaker for others. So that's the only way I would take it. I've always thought that he's been a little overrated scoring wise. People will, take the big game he against the Denver Nuggets. You remember that? I think he dropped like 41 in the closeout game
and hit
like,
the game winner.
Those are aberrations, not reality, right?
Yeah.
Those are for some reason Jokic is getting exposed in the pick and roll. That's basically what it is. He got to those mid-range spots. He was making it the whole time. Like that's so it's he's a weird guy. He's on one hand, he's probably gonna get crucified, but I think it's unfairly done because he's misunderstood in my opinion. Because I think the reason why Chris, you had him on our list. You remember the 2010 rankings because he uplifts others, right?
Yeah.
Like Cam Johnson's better because of him. Jay Crowder's because it comes from DeAndre Ayton is not the player that his stats says he is, right? That's Chris Paul's impact.
Yeah.
Right. Cam Johnson gets better because of him. Mikal Bridges gets better because of him. All the wing guys that aren't very skilled, he creates better shot opportunities for them, right? So that's his gift. He elevates others, the looks that others gets, so it makes the team look better than what it is. And then when they face a team with more talent that's legitimate and repeatable, that's why you see the delusion of and then the drop off. Because he's not gifted like that as a scorer. So there's a gift and a curse with him, but I think he's underrated. I agree with Chris on the way he views him all time, even though I had him lower, didn't have him on the list, but I like him personally.
Yeah, he definitely uplifts other players. He makes the team around him better. So going off of what you said, like I said, it is a couple points. I mean, in a series that can make or break. But as long as his assist numbers are still normally where they should be, then it shouldn't make much of a difference.
His assist to turnover ratio is what makes him special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have anything else, or do we want to move into the Kendrick Perkins comment?
Yeah, let's move into the Kendrick Perkins. Hey, Gus, can you read that comment for us?
Yeah, I can. Sorry.
Oh, no
Give
problem.
me a second.
You can listen to the music by Jason Collins at the intermission.
The musical stylist of Jason Collins.
Is it on Telegram?
No, it's on
It was Kendrick Perkins saying that Chris Middleton is the Batman to Giannis Antetokounmpo's Robin.
Yeah, it was on Twitter, I think it is. I'm really doing music. He said he didn't. I think he said it on Twitter, and then he also said it on TV as well. He doubled down, and then he told him to carry on.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for it right now.
No, you're fine. Well, while you're looking, Gus. So Jason.
Yes, sir.
So, Chris Middleton, who we just talked about, top 10 most inconsistent player. He's like He's like what Paul George was and is no longer, or is kind of trying to fall out of being. Kendrick Perkins, who won a ring on the Boston Celtics.
Noah.
Yeah. And then got paid by the Oklahoma City Thunder because they didn't understand his role on that team. Besides the point, he said not really knowing a Batman and or a Robin, because he was neither.
Gosh.
Maybe a penguin.
I mean, I don't even know who Batman's fifth man is. Jeez. Maybe his pencil. I don't know, bro. Oh, he's the butler. He's the butler.
He can be Alfred.
He literally sets screens for other players. He's just like the guy who's the role. Yep, he's Alfred.
Yeah,
that's
Alfred.
what it is.
Said that Middleton is Giannis's Batman, and Giannis is Robin in the sidecar. Thoughts?
I think they should find somebody else that has a podcast called the Basketball Addicts Podcast to talk about basketball. Because, man, that is some stupid stuff right there.
Yeah.
I mean, geez. Chris Middleton is not a top 10, top 20 player in the NBA. He might be like 20 to 30. He is extremely inconsistent. You're right. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is a borderline top 5. Like, he might not have the perimeter scoring yet, but what he does is literally average like 30, 15, and 8. Or something like that. 30, let's say 30, 10, and 8. Like, if I said, Chris, somebody's averaging 30, 10, and 8 in the NBA Finals, be like, well, I mean, LeBron might do better, but it's like, is Russell Westbrook somehow in in this prime? Like, how is this? Like, that's the type of thing that he does. He's just while being extreme, like the best defender on the team. He's the key to them shutting down the pick and roll.
Yeah.
So this is absolutely ridiculous. Giannis is Batman, right? There's only like 5 or 6 people that could make him Robin.
Yeah.
And those are all world James Harden, Kevin Durant, LeBron, maybe Luka and Dame. I mean, that's maybe it. Like, other than that, it's Giannis, right? So and honestly, if you wanted to make a super team, he's a perfect person to build a super team around. I don't think there's another person that more perfect to build a super team around other than Nikola Jokic. Which, hey, go check out our trades part 1, part 2 podcast, which are dropping today, Thursday, and on Friday, which we have building a a super team around Jokic.
Shameless plug.
But yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the ability to pass, get others involved, attack. Like, what Giannis does is rare to find. All you got to do is put in great scorers, and then you can build a super team there. So, yeah, this is completely stupidity. Yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. You can go ahead, Chris.
He doesn't know what he's talking about at all. I mean, come on now. Giannis is the definitive leader of that team. Without Giannis, there is no Bucks finals run right now. Period. I mean, like you won a game without him. I think it was maybe 2, but it was against a hobbled Atlanta Hawks team. They didn't have their definitive star, so you know what I mean. In any other series, you're done for. Chris Middleton, he's a really good role player. Really good role player.
Might be a good 3.
Yeah. Maybe like a definitive like third option. But he's no Batman. I mean, like, come on, Kendrick Perkins. I can't agree with you more, Jason, with everything you said. I'm just going to say just like, maybe they need to test Kendrick Perkins for like marijuana or something. Like he needs to stay off that weed. Stay off the weed. In the words of Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny clip. Yeah. I'll give it to them.
So the thing that I'm finding on Twitter is essentially Kendrick Perkins. This is what he tweeted. He said, "When it matters most, you better put your lettuce on money-making Middleton. The man is straight money when it comes to being clutch. By the way, Giannis and Middleton are the Justice League. We can call Chris Batman and Giannis Superman. Carry the hell on." I did see that he made a comment. He said, "Batman saved 40,000 lives tonight. When it matters most, just put the ball in Chris Middleton's hands. Carry the hell on."
I mean, but Giannis had the game-winning block, the game-saving block. So, I mean, I guess it go either way. But I wouldn't make. We're not building teams around Chris Middleton. We're not doing top 10 lists and saying, "Oh, Chris Middleton." No.
Yeah, what's funny is that he essentially says in pretty much the very next tweet, Giannis guarded the entire play last night by himself, essentially winning the game. That's like his very next tweet. I'm not, I think
he's like chain smoking blunts right now while he's tweeting.
Bro,
he's got
somebody take his
blunt
Twitter
in the
away
left
from
hand and Twitter in the right hand.
Taking bong rips.
He's got a problem, bro. Yeah. 10 out of 10 would not recommend
at
Kendrick
all.
Perkins' Twitter page.
Carry the hell on.
Yeah. I'd rather read the encyclopedia back front and back before taking his comments seriously.
For real. Like, does he drinking Hennessy and taking long rips? Like
that sounds like J.R. Smith, bro. I think we got the wrong guy.
The Henny God.
Yeah, he is the Henny God, bro. Hey, he's a part of a ring championship run, so we can live with JR. JR, you can. Hey, JR, you're not in the NBA anymore. You could be a guest on our podcast. We love to talk to you about basketball. Shameless plug again. Probably would never happen, but hey, we're Cavs fans. We accept anybody here.
Never say never.
Hey, it can happen.
Yes, sir. Never say never. J.R. Smith.
All right.
All righty. So thank you guys for listening to the Basketball Addicts podcast. We have a few new YouTube episodes you guys should check out. So basically, we're on YouTube right now, guys. We're on TikTok and we're on Instagram. We're merging 3 platforms right now. We're really starting to grow. Thank you guys for listening. And we'll have a podcast on Sunday that'll go over multiple different things. We're still kind of storyboarding here with that one, so I can't give out too much information, but I know we'll probably talk about the Olympics for certain. And man, we're talking about losing 2 games. Wow, amazing.
Right.
Wow. All right. So yeah, so we're the Basketball Addicts. I'm Jason Collins.
And I'm Chris Muhammad.
All right.